NASCAR is experiencing a problem they haven't had in decades. They don't have a star like they used to have, one that is adored by all fans. So, do you think NASCAR will ever have another star like the we're talking about today, Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Ever since Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s retirement, NASCAR has struggled to find someone who evokes the same amount of fan loyalty. While other names like Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Bubba Wallace, and Kyle Larson have piqued fans' curiosity as NASCAR stars, but can any of them truly attain Dale Jr.'s level of superstardom? Dale Earnhardt Jr. retired from full-time racing in 2017, but his legacy remains enormous. He was elected NASCAR's most popular driver a record 15 times in a row, and his retirement created a hole that the sport has been unable to fill. Fans identified with Jr. not just because of his family lineage, but also because of his humility and relatable nature. He served as a link between NASCAR's traditional fan base and younger generations. The issue of who will take up the mantle after him looms over the sport. One may argue that Chase Elliott, who has won the most popular driver award every year since Dale Jr.'s departure, is a fitting successor. Elliott has tremendous skill and is the son of NASCAR veteran Bill Elliott, giving him a similar heritage to Jr. While Chase has a devoted following, he has yet to achieve Dale Jr.'s level of popularity. His guarded manner contrasts with Jr.'s more extroverted and personable demeanor, making it difficult for him to connect with a larger audience in the same way. In recent years, NASCAR has seen some intriguing personalities develop. Bubba Wallace, for example, has received much attention for both his driving abilities and his position as an outspoken champion for diversity in the sport. Kyle Larson, who won a dominating championship in 2021, has demonstrated exceptional skill on the track, appealing to devoted racing enthusiasts. However, neither driver has able to capture the wide appeal that helped Dale Jr. become a household figure. The effort to discover the next Dale Jr. is about more than just the drivers themselves. It is also about NASCAR's changing landscape. NASCAR's popularity peaked in the early 2000s due to high TV ratings, filled grandstands, and crossover appeal. However, in recent years, the sport has seen decreased viewership, unfilled seats at racetracks, and growing competition from other sports and entertainment alternatives. In this environment, the absence of a single magnetic star, such as Dale Jr., is much more apparent. Jr.'s participation added something special to the sport, a connection to its origins. His sincerity appealed to NASCAR fans who admired the sport's blue-collar roots and family legacy. While the sport has developed to attract larger audiences and new markets, it risks losing touch with its essential essence. The next superstar who can emulate Jr.'s success will need to bridge this divide, uniting loyal fans with new ones while honoring the sport's legacy. Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and even Kyle Busch have all been important personalities in recent NASCAR history, but they are either at the end of their careers or lack the broader cultural recognition required to really fill Jr.'s shoes. Ryan Blaney's easygoing nature has given him glimpses of marketability, but he has yet to attain Jr.'s legendary reputation. Finding the next Dale Jr. is tough due to the numerous elements that led to his success. Fans admired him not only for his racing abilities, he won 26 Cup Series races and 2 Daytona 500s, but also for his sensitivity and sincerity. In today's NASCAR, the emphasis on young drivers and advancing their careers may impede the development of the emotional connection that fans had with Jr. Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson, for example, are two newer drivers with talent, but they have yet to show the consistency or personality that would propel them to household name status. NASCAR is also fighting in a very different media landscape than it was during Jr.'s peak. Social media has become an essential tool for drivers looking to grow their businesses. While it provides possibilities, it makes it more difficult to stand out. Dale Jr. rose to prominence during a time when the limelight was less split and people's tastes were more aligned. Today's drivers have the difficulty of carving out a niche in a competitive digital world while remaining mainstream. The shifting fan base might be one of the reasons NASCAR has yet to find its next Dale Jr. While Jr. appealed to the typical NASCAR demographic, the next great star may need to reach a larger, more global audience. NASCAR's efforts to adapt, such as adopting new courses, vehicles, and formats, have produced mixed success. The next-gen vehicle, for example, has leveled the playing field and resulted in more competitive racing, but it has not yet emerged as a clear fan favorite among drivers. Events such as the Chicago Street Race and the revival of North Wilkesboro Speedway demonstrate NASCAR's willingness to experiment, but these changes have yet to result in a driver with the widespread appeal of Jr. Finally, the quest for the next Dale Jr. is more than just replacing a famous driver. It's about finding someone who can raise the entire sport. And if we want to find someone, we better start with the drivers themselves. Who do they think is the most likable on the grid? The NASCAR drivers have spoken out on that and who they would want as a teammate. Ahead of the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, Fox Sports' Bob Pockrass conducted an anonymous survey of the 16 drivers that qualified for the postseason. Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell were identified as the drivers' preferred teammates. Larson had the most votes, 4, while Bell was not far behind with 3. So could one of these two drivers fill the void left by Dale Jr.? When talking about Bell, one driver wrote, "I just like him. He's a good kid. He's a good driver. It's fun to talk to him about cars. I have a lot of respect for his abilities." Larson and Bell were among the top drivers during the 2024 season. Larson won the most races of any Cup Series driver, with 6, and finished 18th in the Indianapolis 500. Larson competes for Hendrick Motorsports with Chase Elliott, William Byron, and Alex Bowman. Larson recently spoke with Brad Gilley about Race Industry Week 2024 and his intentions for the off-seasons. Our off-seasons the last couple of years have been pretty calm. This year it's although we're going on a couple of vacations with some racing mixed in, we're not really home much, Larson explained. So yeah, we've already been on one vacation. We got another vacation coming up in a week and a half. Then I have some more racing to do too. I'm excited to go to Australia. I'll go there. We leave Christmas night for Australia. I go there for just like 5 or 6 days to race the sprint car at Perth. It's promoted by High Limit as well. So, we're going to pay 100 grand to win, which is by far the largest paying race in Australian sprint car racing history. Bell won 3 races in the 2024 regular season and finished 5th in the Cup Series standings. He competes for Joe Gibbs Racing with Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, and Chase Briscoe. Before the NASCAR Cup Series championship race, Bell discussed how he felt cheated out of competing for a title. "I feel cheated," Bell told NBC Sports. "I feel cheated out of a chance to compete for a championship. It all stems from what happened, with 15, 20 laps to go, whenever the race got fixed and manipulated by Chevrolet. That forced our hands to do what we did, and ultimately, it forced me into a mistake on the last lap to get into the wall. I feel I should never have been in that position. Had the race been ran fairly, Byron would have lost enough spots to get me into the final race." Are these the kind of comments the favorite driver of the bunch would say? And do you feel like one of these two could become the star for the next decade or so? One driver that came close to the stardom and likability was Truex Jr., who has just decided to retire from full-time NASCAR, so that one likable character less. However, we'll still see him from time to time, as Martin Truex Jr. recently shared some intriguing insights regarding his intentions for the 2025 NASCAR season. Truex announced his plans to compete in the Daytona 500 and several Xfinity Series events. Truex says this shift in focus is primarily for enjoyment, as he looks forward to stepping away from the demanding full-time Cup Series schedule while remaining connected to the sport. Racing-wise, I'm going to do the Daytona 500 and then, looking forward to running some Xfinity cars a bit here and there just to have fun and see how it goes, Truex told ESPN. When asked if the Daytona arrangement was still with 23 Tyban Racing, Truex said, "No, it is not. I'm not sure what they're doing, honestly. Kind of up in the air. I just told Gibbs. JGR is doing it somehow, so we'll see." Joe Gibbs Racing is allegedly unable to operate a 5th car owing to constraints under the NASCAR charter agreement. According to the regulations, 4-car teams like JGR cannot add a 5th car, even on a part-time basis. Truex will need to join another team if he wants to compete in the season's first race. Fans and pundits are speculating on prospective choices, such as Legacy Motor Club or 23 Tyban Racing, both of which have links to Toyota, the manufacturer with which JGR works. Initially, there was speculation that Truex would join 23 Dustroff for the Daytona 500, but subsequent revisions in the team's preparations have placed doubt on that likelihood. While 23 Nufferton only operates 2 cars full-time, they could theoretically field a 3rd or 4th car as an open entry. However, the lack of charters complicates issues, making Truex's joining the club questionable. The charter system is a heated topic in NASCAR. Under the most recent deal, teams are limited to 3 charters. However, heritage teams such as JGR and Hendrick Motorsports are grandfathered into 4. This has spurred controversy among fans and insiders regarding whether these constraints are reasonable or offer established clubs an unfair edge. Smaller teams and younger companies such as 23 Nop1 must carefully manage these constraints, which complicates their expansion aspirations. If Truex ends up with 23 Talfin or another team, it will be intriguing to see how they navigate these constraints. Truex is still confident in his ability to compete in the Daytona 500. Fans are curious to see if he would join a new team, maybe one with a technical partnership with JGR, or if a totally new team will emerge to offer him with a ride in this historic event. This story is far from over, so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Thank you for watching and see you next time.